Like I so often do, I am now driving down into a parking garage. Alright, so we're going to be painting one of these green columns. These words should be directed this away. Also, I don't frequently talk about the afflictions in my life, but I'm a guy who's in my life been affected greatly by an affliction called Big Irish Head, or BIH for short. Now, people like me who suffer from BIH, there's a lot of other people around like that, like Conan O'Brien, Bryan Cranston, his co-star on Breaking Bad, Aaron, whatever. These are people who have heads that are really just too big for our bodies, and they seem appropriate, I think, sometimes on television when they're photographed properly with the right lenses. Not with an action camera, by the way, which is what I use for my vlogs. But something that I think I really need to raise awareness about is that people like us, we are even more greatly affected by bedhead. And there's a few different kinds of bedhead. There's the kind that just make you look like you weren't paying attention, like you just got out of bed and you went to work. If you're handsome enough, that can work to your advantage. People think, wow, I'm already picturing him in his bed. Women might think that. Or men, whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You know what, this is not gonna overlap where the new letters will go. I could have done this at the same time as painting the new letters. I guess I just kind of wanted to see it in person again. What is that? Bird crap? Probably a bird crap. But that's just one of the many different kinds of bedhead. Another kind of bedhead is the kind that actually makes you look like a mad scientist, or someone who's like their forward motion and whatever that they're concerned with, in my case sign painting, has so enthralled them that it's just visually obvious by looking at their hair, at their bedhead, that they didn't have time to, get perfectly coiffed. They're on a mission. They're doing their thing. That's kind of the kind of bedhead that I aspire to. And then there's another kind of bedhead, and still more. There's more that I won't have time to list them all here. Okay, so that brings us to the last kind of bedhead that I'm going to discuss, which is the kind that just makes a man look like an ostrich. And if you have the double whammy of also having BIH on top of that, well, then you're just in a really unfortunate position like I am today. That's why I'm wearing a hat today. The kind of bedhead that I have today makes me look like a herd animal, and not one from the United States, but one from probably Australia. A herd animal from a faraway land. And that's not me. I'm a sign painter. Look at me go.